Well, here we are for a web exclusive, a pre-recorded satanic message from me. This was Carp's idea.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I thought it was a good one.
Her idea to do this pre-recorded message instead of doing a live stream. How rude is that? I mean, we live in the live universe, not on some YouTube channel.
I mean, we could just change it up. I don't see what the problem is.
I am not open to changing the formula
We can
now,
change it up
Carp.
if we want to. Come on. I mean, it's our art.
It is not your show. Anyway, let's talk about how the holidays went, and I hope you had a hell of a holiday. So, my holidays, as I mentioned, I received an invite from heaven to join in on their Christmas festivities. For the last 2,000 or so years, I've just declined it and pushed it away. This year, maybe it's the true spirit of Christmas that warmed my heart. And boy, what a shit show this turned out to be. So, let's explain a couple of things. I wanted to get this video out to you a week ago, a whole week ago, and then we could just talk about this the day after it happened, but you know what? Small oversight on my behalf, and I will own up to my mistakes. But what happened was, with the construction of the Ministry of Infernal Affairs, and yes, if you're not aware, it is canon that we are adding new circles to hell. It is canon, it is lore, and it fucked up my holiday plans, and I am so pissed! But it's okay. We're good now. We're good. Let's start off with the pearly gates. People are filing in to enter heaven, right? And then there's another line inside of that. So your name has to be on the fucking list, and thank fuck that is an automated system now. Because this would have taken eons. I don't know how they get anything done. But you know what? I bet it has something to do with their low entry numbers, but
That's a hell of an
who
assumption.
am I to judge? But anyway, I get to the gates, my name gets checked off, but do you know what's really fucking awkward? The stairs. And you know, I'm used to it by now. I'm used to getting looks of all kinds. Disgust, horror, terror, fear, and a little arousal. It's normal. So, I get in, there's looks of disgust, and it's whatever. But then, I notice something. There's a small handful of people, and my presence makes them question where they are, makes them question their existence in the pearly gates, and it cascades. I don't have to do anything in order to strike fear into the hearts of people. I can just walk around, and people are gonna guess that they've done something wrong, that this isn't really heaven, these aren't the pearly gates, and it's fine, and I'm having a chuckle to myself. And then the angels show up, and they just blast their fucking lights, and they try to escort me out, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I was one of you. No need for the bright flashy lights. I would have been fine being kicked out then and there, you know? But that's just me making excuses, I guess, for not really wanting to be at the party. But can you blame me? Can you really blame me?
Yes.
I was uncomfortable. I didn't fit in. These are not my people. So, eventually, God shows up in the way that God does. Now, you think angels are terrifying and they'll make your eyes bleed out? You know what happens when God shows up? Your entire body starts to vibrate and shake, and the fabric of your entire existence falls apart in front of you, and it shakes, and it reforms. And I'm like, cute party trick, we've all seen it before. As an infernal and infinite being, it doesn't affect me as much. I'm used to it. I've seen angels. Fuck, I used to be one of them. I used to be an angel. Can you picture that? Can you picture me as an angel?
Why, yes, as a matter of fact. I mean, aren't you the light bearer or
Shut the
something?
fuck up,
No!
Bob.
I will speak when
Nobody invited you to this.
I invited me! It was.
Anyway, where was I? Where was I? Oh yeah, God shows up. God knew that I was there. And God lets me in, I guess. And there's stiffs walking around, and it's fine. They're giving me looks, and that's fine. And I'm thinking I'm gonna be here for a couple of hours, and then I'm gonna go leave. The hors d'oeuvres are heavenly. Ugh, I can't believe I said that. Do you want to know what it's like to have an hors d'oeuvre in heaven? It's like if you had a full body orgasm. And when I say full body, I mean every fiber of your being surrounding you, your aura. It's like that. And it's everything you eat.
Everything?
Everything. Anyway, I am going to town on these hors d'oeuvres, and nobody wants to talk to me, and that's fine. Leave me to the corner with my plate of hors d'oeuvres. I would rather be at home with my three-headed dog, watching a movie, or scrolling through TikTok, whatever social media trend is hip nowadays. So I'm ready to leave after I've had my hors d'oeuvres and cuddle Cerberus, right? I wanna go back to my little Cerby baby. Much better place than heaven. Much more comfortable. And some people are like, oh Satan, you're in heaven. Hark, why don't you do the imitation?
Oh gee, we sure are in heaven, isn't it
Very
great? Look
nice.
at us,
So,
heaven, yay!
heaven is just not my cup of tea. It is for other people. It's not for me. And I see all of you introverts out there. You're saying to yourself, oh, Satan, I understand not wanting to go to parties. You're my people. You get it. So, I'm at the gates, trying to leave. And you know what happens? My pass out gets revoked. And you know why? Because there is fucking construction in the Ministry of Infernal Affairs right now. And every fucking entrance back in is blocked. Everybody's stuck in limbo in both directions, 'cause there's a party going this way and construction in the other. It is a weird situation, deeply weird. And you would think, oh, Satan, why don't you just crash in limbo?
Yeah, why
And
don't you?
I could've.
Why don't you? I mean, it just makes sense,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah. Satan, why don't you crash in limbo?
yeah, seriously, like this is a plot hole. Why don't you?
Well, I would. But you know what happens in heaven? People steer clear of me. You know what happens in hell? People swarm around
Oh,
me.
this makes sense.
Leave me alone! People don't understand that. I just want to be home without people swarming around me. Is that so much to ask? And you know what was weirdly comfortable? Being in an unfamiliar place where no one will bother me. So I say, hey, I want to go home. How long will I be holed up here for? And the angel at the gates looked at my ticket and said, it'll be a couple of hours. So let's fast forward about 5 days. 5 whole days. And I'll tell you what that looks like. People are starting to get used to my presence. My skin burns from being in this place, and not the fun kind. It's just unpleasant. And then, 5 days into this party, you know what happens? God has made all of their rounds to people and starts talking to me. And God gestures me over to talk to the one person I don't want to talk to. Baby fucking Jesus Christ. Now, here's the thing about Jesus, okay? Jesus is technically my, I want to say, eighth grandnephew, but also my brother. Do you know this?
42, I think.
Okay, whatever.
I think that's
So,
got to be the right answer, right?
whatever
42.
generation. So, baby fucking Jesus Christ. I'm stuck in this conversation. I am held hostage with God and Jesus in a conversation that God wanted us to have. And God says something like, oh, you haven't wished your great, 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 great grandnephew a happy birthday. And I turn to God and I say, well, that's really fucking hilarious because if you check the damn birth certificate, Jesus was actually born in the summer. We all know this. Jesus knows this. You don't have to keep babying him. And I'm arguing with God. And then you know what? Fucking convenient, if you ask me. I hear glass shatter in the background, and God says, whoops, I will be right back. And God isn't right back. It's just me and Jesus. And we stand there in silence for a couple of minutes. After some awkward silence between us, we look at each other and we just nod. And we have this mutual understanding of the kind of person that God is. And I don't like this kid. I don't like that he's the baby of the family. I don't like that we have all had to bend over backwards against our will for this kid. But he understands, 'cause he never asked to be born. He didn't ask for his circumstances, and I get it. The true magic of Christmas has finally hit us at this party. This beautiful moment together where we recognize our mutual neurotic relative for what they are. And we don't have to say anything. We've both been through this rigmarole. Neither of us ever asked to put up with God's shit. And I still feel a bit of a burning hatred for this guy. But you know what? That moment was beautiful. And we finally reached a bit of an understanding. And God, on the other hand, still pushy, still has an idea of what Christmas should be. And part of me wonders if inviting me was just a stunt. But after a week or so of being in heaven, hanging out with my, what was it again, Carl?
I think 40 seconds.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
number, great-grandnephew. After hanging out with my grandnephew slash brother, it wasn't so bad. In fact, at the end of it, I got invited back next year. And you know what I said? Well, why don't you visit me in hell next year? My treat. We'll see if they accept. How was that for a holiday story, Carl?
I thought it was pretty alright. A little bit cliche in the middle there with the true meaning of Christmas, but I think that you did pretty alright there, Satan. Not a bad retelling at all.
So from the bottom of the darkest, deepest depths of my black little heart, I wish you a happy holiday season as we step out of the darkness and into the light together, into the blinding light. Happy New Year! See you in hell, motherfuckers! Good enough?
Yeah, sure, why not? Cut it, print it, edit.